If there is one thing I fear more than anything in media, specifically music media, it's child actors and child artists. Not because I don't think they're not talented, but because I'm worried about what's going to happen to them after the fact. You know, we've seen how fame can destroy a child's life. We've seen that with Macaulay Culkin. We've seen that with a ton of Nickelodeon stars, a ton of Disney Channel stars, and we've even seen that with people like Britney Spears. Britney Spears is the prime example of music child stars gone wrong. But people still don't learn, and we were introduced to this young boy from Toronto via YouTube. This young boy would go on to sign a record deal at a very young age, and that boy is none other the child star every single media outlet loves to hate. And I mean, honestly, what can I say about Justin Bieber that hasn't already been said? He was signed to a record label at age 13, where he released tracks like One Time and the infamous Baby. And then he would proceed further with his music, pursuing more of an R&B pop sound. Sure enough, Justin Bieber would fall under the many tropes of a child star, delving into drugs, dangerous, reckless activity, you know, the usual. Justin Bieber's one of those artists that you're probably sick of hearing about at this point, myself included. Seriously, is the media done with Justin Bieber yet? I've had enough of hearing Justin Bieber's name pop up on a regular basis. I think Justin Bieber has talent, but I don't love hearing his breathy vocals all over songs. Still, can't deny he is a talented actor come out of Toronto. And just this weekend, Justin Bieber has released Justice, his 6th studio album. This album was good. You know, I did rock with a bunch of the dance poppy tracks, you know, the ones that are definitely appealing to the pop crowd, of course. But it wasn't exactly an album that was holding me over. This is a problem I had with his previous album, where it felt very pop heavy, and it was something that was certainly catchy to the ear, but it just felt so bland. I think what's worse is every feature on here, from the Kid Leroy all the way to Burner Boy, shows how just bland Justin Bieber is as an artist. We're 6 albums in, and this still doesn't sound like his own music. Couple that with the inappropriate use of MLK on an MLK interlude. The album is, of course, titled Justice, but not once does he address social justice on this album, making this MLK interlude, as well as the sample of him on Too Much, kind of inappropriate. In fact, very inappropriate. The album did begin to pick up towards the second half. I began starting to, find it very interesting. But it doesn't feel like... It feels like something we've heard already. And, with Bieber, I'm just so sick of hearing the sad ballad love songs, the sad, oh, I'm sad, I'm famous and have money, and I'm this many years old, oh my god, I have it so rough. Like, dude, you got famous when you were a kid. Like, this wasn't gonna be easy. He seems like a nice guy, but based on his music and based on the way he acts, I don't see the appeal in Justin Bieber. I think he's one of those artists that just has lost appeal over time. And I don't want this to be one of those reviews where I'm just bashing Justin Bieber like every single reviewer on YouTube does. But this album was bland. This album was boring. There was nothing about this album that made me want to go back. With the exception of Burna Boy, there was nothing really on here that made me like, oh, I'm going to listen to this again. If you follow my Instagram review page, you'll know that I also am not exactly a fan of the song Holy. Not because it's a bad song, but because I'm sick of hearing the Chance the Rapper gospel songs. And while he definitely rectified that with his recent release of The Heart and Tongue, you can hear that it's just so redundant. We've heard enough of this from Justin Bieber, and I know he wants some form of release from what feels like a struggle and pain, but I'm not exactly intrigued here. I think Bieber had something here, and I think if he kept the same energy, if he had the same energy he did towards the end of the album and brought that to the front of the album, it could be a much better album overall. But this album felt dull. I wasn't exactly compelled to listen again, and I honestly don't think I could fully recommend this to somebody. Justin Bieber's Justice gets a 2 scratches out of 10. While I still think it's got some good songs, something that you can nod your head to, and something the pop crowd will enjoy, I don't think Justin Bieber has much going for him on this album, and I really think it's both distasteful and not exactly an interesting listen. If you're a fan of Justin Bieber, I suggest go check it out, but if you don't listen to Justin Bieber, you can skip this.
Oh God, running to the altar like a track star.